kind of believe that, we could, I think a lot of people, I think now is time where our defensive coordinator is going to sit down and be like, okay, Dak, we're not underestimating you as a rookie anymore. All right, let's game plan, let's film. There's got to be something we can do to this kid, him being young and a rookie. So, there's some time to sit down, but Dallas looks very impressive, and they can go places behind that offensive line. That offensive line just punishes you.
Yeah, it makes all the difference. Ezekiel Elliott's a very good running back, would probably be very good.
Yeah, I was going to say, Zeke Elliott doesn't need much of a crease at all to get through, but when you're giving him holes like that, it's dangerous.
He could potentially be great in Dallas behind that offensive line, and it's impressive to watch. But here's the big question.
Go back real quick, though. I just thought of this. Go back to Emmitt Smith. What did Emmitt Smith have his entire career when he played for the Cowboys? Hall of Famers all over his offensive line. Not to say Emmitt Smith wasn't great, because he was.
He was great.
But you take, that's what I'm saying, you take a great running back and put it behind an offensive line, you have a very, very special career. And
you have great results. And the great results are truly, truly evident. I want to know what's going to happen when Tony Romo gets healthy.
What's going to happen when Tony Romo's healthy? If you want what's going to happen is Jerry Jones. I think whoever Jerry Jones' wife gave birth to Tony Romo a long time ago, and they just got to go back. It just feels that way. But if you want my opinion, Dak Prescott stays the quarterback. I always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I know Tony Romo has been your – what?
I said, Tony, I am your father.
Now, Tony, that's all right. Don't worry. I know Dak's playing well, but you're my boy. You always been my boy. I'm going to take care of you. But here's the thing. What I think is going to happen, I think Tony Romo will play for those reasons, and those reasons alone. Jerry's all about his boys. But Dak Prescott should be the starting quarterback when Tony Romo's healthy to play again. Unless, of course, until that time, stuff starts happening, they go on a losing streak or something along those lines. Something like that happens. Dak stays a quarterback. They're on a good flow right now. They're 4-1. They're playing good. Look what Belichick. I'm not saying Dak Prescott's the next Tom Brady, but look what happened. Drew Bledsoe gets knocked out. That's been his team.
Yeah.
Brady comes in. They're winning games. You let him stay in.
I guess you do. In that Dallas team,
you don't change things when you're winning. You don't change things when you're winning. If they're winning games, and Dak Prescott hasn't even thrown an interception yet, for God's sakes. Yeah, you got to look at some of these factors. He's got a hot hand. He's playing well. He's getting confident. The team's playing good. They have faith in him. You can't mess that up right now, especially if you're winning. If you start to lose, then you could say, okay, Tony's our guy. He's been our guy. He's a veteran. He's coming back.
Yeah, but and that's going to be an interesting play to see how that all plays out. I also, last little bit of news here, Kaepernick named the starter in San Francisco. You and I both wondered why and how in the world did Blaine Gabbert ever get that starting job over Kaepernick?
There's a lot of conspiracies here. I really don't want to go into the whole, it's because Colin Kaepernick was a distraction. I don't believe that. I would hope not.
Before you go a step further, let me bail you out here. Okay. It's very clear why he wasn't playing. It is so very clear now that it is common, it is plain knowledge. The contract, and I don't know the details specifically of the contract, but the contract that Colin Kaepernick was under is that if he were to happen to play and get hurt this season, they had to pay him full bill next year. He's leaving next year. They did the same thing to RG3 in Washington. They knew he was going to go because they were going to let him go, but they didn't want to take the chance of him suiting up, playing, getting hurt, and then they got to pay him for nothing. So that's the same thing. There was no conspiracy. It had nothing to do with kneeling for a flag. It had nothing to do with any of that. It had to do simply with Colin Kaepernick.
I never thought so either, and granted, I would hope not.
Yeah. Look, head coaches, there's 32 spots in the NFL where you can be a head coach. The last thing you try to do is not play somebody out of spite or out of bitterness or anger over something, and then you lose your job. That shit doesn't happen. You don't play favorites when you're a head coach in the NFL. Your job is to win games. The best players play at that level. And it's like,
yeah, I agree.
It's parents, I've been in the coaching world, and it's parents with their kids who say, well, you're not playing my kid because you don't like him, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. I may not like your son or your daughter, but I'm not playing him because he's not the best player there, and I'm not going to punish somebody else and put them on the bench because of your little boy. That's a better play. The better players play on every level. And I'm not for those out there. I'm not talking.
You know what though? I can honestly say there's been some coaches. out there on some levels. I'm not saying on a professional level, but on some levels who play favoritisms, and that politics do exist. But
well, they do, and it's with parents usually. But beyond that, at this level, when you are a paid head coach in the NFL and there's 32 teams and 32 jobs and this is your shot, you're not playing around. And that's why when you watch Hard Knocks and you watch these shows and you see the very good head coaches, when they cut a guy, they cut him. When Belichick calls somebody into the office and cuts somebody, he doesn't give them this long explanation to why they're cut. He just says, well, we got some better players in this position, and you're just not good enough for our team right now, but thank you. And that's the end of it. It's a business. So these games aren't played with Kaepernick. We're not going to play him because he's wearing different shoes or because he won't do this. That doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. It had to have been a financial issue and a reason, and it was. So the conspiracy theory, as much as I love a good tinfoil hat conversation, that doesn't exist. It's not the shit. It was clear that Kaepernick's the better player.
I don't agree. That's why Kaepernick wasn't. I don't agree, but okay, I'm going to side with you on the financial reasons because there had to have been some rational explanation out there why Blaine Gabbert was starting over Colin Kaepernick.
It's not an opinion. It's not an opinion. I read an entire article from Tim Kawakami today out of the Bay Area. It's not an opinion. He broke it down. That's exactly why he wasn't playing. But what I'm getting at, and the reason why I bring that up, and the reason why I think that's important to bring that up, is you had mentioned a few weeks back how the Yorks have absolutely shit all over this football team.
They've absolutely destroyed what a great Hall of Fame owner Eddie DiBartolo built from the ground up.
And the reason I bring that up,
completely annihilated it.
This is ownership allowing a contract to supersede life on the field. It's superseding football. Contract is now dictating what happens on the field. That's shameful. And with that, your fans will hate you for doing shit like that. You don't do that. You don't screw a player for contractual reasons. You bring him in and you make the contract work. So finally today, this is why this is all surfacing. Finally today, they worked out his contract and they got a deal done. They should have put this deal together over the summer. This should have been done months ago. Instead, it was, now it's shake your dicks, boys. The pissing contest is over. It's done now, but it's too late because your season's shot. What are they, 1-4?
Well, their season was going to be shot regardless if Kaepernick started from day one. They're just not a very good team altogether.
They're not.
It was going to be shot.
Now you have big problems. You have a head coach that has to look at a player and basically tell him that you have to believe in everything I say going forward. However, I was completely castrated on the decision whether or not to let you play. And you may have been my choice for the number one quarterback, but I had to go out to the press and lie to them week in and week out and say that Gabbert's going to take the job, Gabbert's the better player, and now I'm telling you, son, that I believe in you after I just lied to you for 8 weeks. It's horse
That's a fucked up business.
It's horse shit. It is, and it's a dirty business, but I just don't like it, and I feel like I had to bring that up. I just don't like those games that are played for financial reasons. It affects the product on the field. And then that's why I have to ask, has the NFL season been that great? It's not. The product hasn't been wonderful. We have been treated to garbage Thursday night games and lackluster
Thursday night games. Well, the Monday night games is more of a concern to me. The Thursday night games, they're always pieces of shit.
Yeah, we expect shit for the most part.
They're always pieces of shit. Coming off a short league, everybody's hobbled, and they're usually bad matchups. But the Monday night games, Tampa, Carolina. But I know the scheduling throughout the year. I know he was thinking Jameis versus Cam on that. And nobody expected the Carolina Panthers. That's another surprise this year. Nobody expected the Carolina Panthers to be this bad. Starting.
I recall having an episode about Super Bowl hangovers. Yeah, no. But
it's nothing to do with it. The Super Bowl hangover does not exist. It's just the fact Carolina's not a good football. Their lack of personnel this year that they had last year.
And they just fell apart. They just fell apart. Things aren't the same. Things aren't well. There's unrest and uneasiness in Charlotte. It's just not a good thing.
There's been bad games. Eagles-Bears on Monday night's terrible matchup. I mean, some of these other Monday night games. Yeah, it's just not been good. No,
it was.
Even the Sunday night games haven't been that great.
Monday night, that Panthers-Bucks game. If there was such a thing as minor league football, that was it. Did you watch the game in its entirety?
Nope. Too much good baseball. I knew better on that night.
I actually had them split screen side by side. I really did. That's why I have a big screen so I can watch two 33-inchers on the 70-inch. But I watch the game because it's football. It's the NFL. I'm going to watch it. But the Buccaneers, sloppy penalties, false starts, face masks, just terrible, terrible bonehead penalties. This is not a well-coached team. The Carolina Panthers, the same thing, false starts, face masks, personal fouls, and late hits, things that don't have to be done that are costing your team 15 yards, keeping the offense on the field. The way they were running, they ran into each other on a kick. Carolina turned the ball over 3 or 4 times. Derek Anderson threw an interception down inside the 1 on 1st and goal. It was Spider X, Y banana on the rollout. And what does he do? He had every opportunity. If he was not rusty, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, if he's not a rusty player and he's a guy that plays every week, he throws that ball out of the back of the end zone. It goes to 2nd and goal. He's rusty. He tries to force it in the coverage. Brent Grimes makes a great interception. It's just a sloppy, disgusting, terrible to watch football game.
It's also
missing
sloppy,
2 kicks.
disgusting Derek Anderson also throughout his career.
Yeah, he looked good at times.
Oh, here comes the optimism.
I know. Look, I respect that it's a freaking difficult position to play in professional sports. Maybe I am too forgiving with a lot of these guys, but yeah, he looked like shit. It was garbage. Jameis Winston looked like shit. Throughout the game, you got the feeling, and Gruden kept mentioning it, that as the game went on, Dirk Cutter started to tighten the reins on Jameis, and it seemed like he just closed the playbook and didn't give him opportunities. Every time Jameis got an opportunity to open it up a little bit, he'd make a terrible decision. So the youthful quarterback in him started to come out, and frankly, Dirk Cutter didn't trust him the whole second half of that game. Dump-offs underneath, and these weren't checkdowns. He's running max protect with 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end. He didn't trust him. He's handing the ball off on 3rd and 9, 3rd and 12, just giving up and trying to kick field goals with a kicker that can't make them. He didn't trust his quarterback to not throw a pick and get him out of that game. Cutter's trying to win a game on the road, which I understand. But, boy, if him and Jameis don't get this page fixed up, this is going to be an ugly remaining half of the season for the Buccaneers. Going to be ugly. I just wasn't impressed by either team. You can count both of them out of the playoff hunt right now.
Oh, I mean, if either one of those teams makes the playoffs, Tampa Bay or Carolina,
somebody else had to fail majorly.
We want to talk about shock to go there. No, I mean, that would be. If you even decide you'd stop listening to the show and go put money on it, and you won that, I mean, you'd have to win a ton of money.
Yeah, they're big, long odds. Neither one of those teams are going anywhere. A shame because there's some talent on that Carolina Panther team, but they're just not going anywhere. They might finish the season 7-9 if they get Jonathan Stewart and Cam back. They have the blessing of playing in the NFC South, where you're going to have to play the Saints twice. You're going to play each other again. I mean, that's not a good division. I mean, Atlanta looks like they're above the pack in that division clearly right now. Certainly do. But on that note, Holmes, we are up against the clock. We burned long tonight. The candle is out of wax, but that's okay. It's fun to keep going and enjoying the conversation, as I know I did. Can't speak for you because you're crotchety sometimes, so who's to say? But yeah, good talk tonight, man. We've emptied the tank, folks. It's once again been a great time. You're listening to the Line Sports Talk podcast, brought to you by our friends at Sunday Swim.
I wonder if our boy Mad Bum's already on top of a bowl right now, gutting out his frustrations. I bet he couldn't fucking wait. I bet you his wife, after being on the road, all this time, his wife just wanted some alone time or whatever. She probably went in there and be like, "Fucking, I'm pissed. Where's that bowl at?"
Yeah, he's probably cleaning a hog hanging up by its hose right now. Tough show. Sunday Swim, man. I'm starting to sneak back into the pack if you haven't noticed. I see that you continuously clean house week in and week out, but I ain't gone yet, pal.
Have
a look, Joe.
You ever want to call me in the morning and, maybe I'll help you out. Maybe I'll help you guys out a little bit, but from what I've, Slumlord Horn Dog, he's looking pretty good.
Slumlord the Horn Dog is red hot, my man. But we are on the clock and off the clock and up against it, and we got to shut it down, brother. So hey, everybody out there, thanks for listening again. Thursday night tomorrow, Harbor Mike will be joining us. We're going to be doing some daily fantasy breakdowns, building the perfect beast, trying to get a lineup that'll get a winner for you and for us. And then we'll be back on Saturday to do our prediction show. But everybody out there, be safe, be nice to one another, and we'll talk to you then. Say goodnight, Joe.
Later on.